Welcome back to another new AMP podcast. I'm Ben Dubose, news editor with AMP Publications. AMP, of course, is a shorthand acronym for the Association for Materials Protection and Performance, and both Materials Performance, or MP, and Coatings Pro magazine are member magazines within our publications group. This episode is part of a special series spotlighting the winners of the 2025 Materials Performance Corrosion Innovation of the Year Awards. This program celebrates cutting-edge technologies that are driving continued progress in corrosion control and protective materials. Today, we're featuring one of this year's standout innovations, and that's the Vapor Pipe Shield from General Air Products. Vapor Pipe Shield is a patented and UL-listed solution for the prevention of corrosion in dry pipe and pre-action fire sprinkler systems. According to the company, it's a delivery system of a vapor phase corrosion inhibitor, and that technology is backed by more than 40 years of established science. Vapor Pipe Shield is fully mechanical with no electrical connections. It's simply piped directly in line between the air compressor and a dry pipe valve. It's easy to install as an air maintenance device. It's easily maintained, and it makes corrosion mitigation in any dry or pre-action fire sprinkler system simple, efficient, and highly cost-effective. Joining us today to talk more about that is Ray Fremont Jr. Ray is president of the company and based in Exton, Pennsylvania. In this episode, we're going to be speaking with him about the science behind the innovation, what this award means for the company, and how the technology is already making a difference out in the field. Ray, thank you so much for joining us. Why don't you start by telling us a bit about your personal career and also some background on General Air Products as a company?
Sure, Ben. Thanks for having me. So, General Air Products is my family's company. We've been around since the 1930s. My great grandfather started it in Philadelphia in 1936, and we were, doing a variety of industrial equipment throughout the years. And in the 50s, started manufacturing air compressors to be used in fire sprinkler systems. So, people ask me, how long I've been with the company, and it's just kind of always. My dad and his brothers were running it. So it was my great grandfather, then my grandfather, my dad and his brothers. Now me and my brothers have been running the company for the past 5 years or so.
All right, so let's start with the big news and the topic of today's pod, which is the fact that Vapor Pipe Shield is a winner of the Materials Performance Corrosion Innovation of the Year Awards for 2025. What was your reaction when you heard the news, and what does that type of industry recognition mean for General Air as a company?
Oh, we're really excited to hear it. I mean, AMP is a very significant association, and to be recognized by such an association is really a big deal for us. We really celebrated it throughout the company, but especially in our engineering department, where our engineers worked really hard on this project for many years. So yeah, it meant a lot to us, and it really it's something that we shared with the fire sprinkler industry, of which we're very we've been involved with since, like I said, the 1950s. And we're very intimately involved with the fire sprinkler industry by way of several other trade associations, and as our air compressors basically are our main product, and they provide a very key component to dry and pre-action systems. So the development of this product is a great accessory, and a very needed one, because it keeps the costs down associated with the use of fire sprinkler systems. So being able to celebrate that and have that acknowledgement from AMP was great. It really adds a lot of legitimacy as well to the work that we've been doing. We've had a lot of success in the fire sprinkler industry. We have nearly 1,000 units installed at this point. But to see that same kind of, or to see an acknowledgement from a completely different industry, people looking at the product from a very different point of view, was, again, like I said, very validating.
So, historically speaking, what are some of the challenges with the more conventional alternatives? What is it that you guys were trying to improve during the development process of this?
That's a great question. We, like I said, we've been making air compressors since the 1950s, most of them specifically for fire protection. And in that, we've supplied a lot of different solutions. Cold storage facilities require air compressors with dryers. And then I want to say about 15, 20 years ago, people started using nitrogen generators for standard dry systems in order to keep corrosion down. And so, as a supplier of air compressors and nitrogen generators, basically an air compressor with a fancy filter on it. So we started building and making those as well. And as we've been selling them for the past 15, 20 years, in that application, there's a lot of issues with it. I mean, one, the cost of those units is especially high. There's a significant amount of space it takes up. Maintaining the unit and the system at high purity levels like 98% nitrogen is a real challenge. So, it was these and more that we saw. I mean, another big one is that the dry systems tend to have leaks that, primarily are caused by corrosion, but they can be caused by a million other things as well. And those leaks will grow over time, which requires more airflow out of the unit, which is not a specialty of a nitrogen generator at high purity. So for all of these reasons, we watched these problems happening again and again for the past 15 years. So it was great to be able to come across a product like vapor phase corrosion inhibitors and be able to apply them in a new way to solve a problem and address a lot of those issues.
Yeah, let's talk about where we are today as far as the commercialization of this. Take us through the timeline of how we got to today, and specifically that partnership with Cortec for the vapor phase corrosion inhibitor. Just how exactly did we get here, and where are we at in mid 25?
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, Cortec's been a great partner in this. They love all the testing we're doing, and they help us. We understand the fire sprinkler system and the airflow aspects of this product really well. They understand the chemical aspects really well as it comes from them. So being able to work together with them has been invaluable. And that's how it really, it started so organically. It was at a NACE committee meeting that was set up for addressing corrosion issues in fire sprinkler systems. Gosh, I want to say it was probably about 5 or 6 years ago. What are we, 25? So yeah, it was about 2018. So we're going about 7 years ago that we were there because of the fire sprinkler corrosion committee, but in a true testament to our company's culture and our people in our engineering department at General Air Products. Instead of just kind of packing it up and going home at the end of the day with the committee, they went and looked to see what else was new and innovative in the industry. And while I guess vapor phase corrosion inhibitors or they're not to say new because they're about 40 years old, but they were new to us. And we started talking with Cortec then, saying, "Hey, we're in the fire sprinkler industry. We're looking for something that might work here." And so we started doing some testing, some very basic testing to just watch the this product work its way through a piping network. And again, from a manufacturing side, it's very cool because we're bringing in new technology to an industry, but also we're able to do this, the right way, very slowly over time, where we watched it pass one test and the next. My engineers would update us and tell me, "Hey, that vapor phase test thing, it passed another test. It passed another test." And each time, so over the course of about the first 3 years, very, like I said, rudimentary tests until we decided, okay, we think this can be a real product. We need to really invest some money in this. And we built a very significant testing rig, actually a series of them over the next few years to do both testing on the effectiveness of VPCIs, the specific Cortec product that we're using, and also the migration of that product through the system, which allowed us to kind of figure out how much of the VPCI product that we needed with our vapor pipe shield unit in conjunction with the size of the system, the amount of time that we wanted to have the corrosion mitigation take effect, and the airflow of our air compressors. So we had to kind of weigh and measure all of those factors until we zeroed in on a product line, which took another year or two. And then we went to UL for listings associated with fire protection, which took another 2 years. So that ended in, like I said, I want to say around the end of 22, we got our UL listing. And so we went to market early 23. And like I said, since 2023, we've got about 1,000 units installed, which has just been phenomenal. And like I said, it really is kind of the belle of the ball in the fire sprinkler industry as far as innovative new products, which we're really excited to be able to bring.
Right. And normally I ask what makes a product like yours unique because there's, for any innovation, usually a level of competition. But in your case, it sounds like what's unique is the partnership and the combination, right? I mean, is there anything else that's unique, or does it really just come down to that synergy between you and Cortec and being able to blend the fire sprinkler expertise with the vapor phase corrosion inhibitor? Is that the unique aspect here?
That's a great way to put it. I'd say that's at the core of it. I mean, the product, I would say that the vapor phase corrosion inhibitors that the Cortex makes that we're using here have not been weren't previously used in piping networks. They were more used in containers and things like that, or pressure vessels. So the unique aspect was getting it through there, but at the core of it is that relationship between us and Cortec, being able to kind of work through all of the hurdles that come up with trying to take a product that's proven effectiveness for over 40 years and put it into a new application that takes deep understanding both of their product and of that application. Like, just like you said, we both brought equal amounts of that to the table, and we're able to kind of work through this over, like I said, a significant period of time that was all well worthwhile, especially now, and it culminates kind of in the award that we received. It really recognizes all of that hard work that was done.
What feedback have you heard from the folks that are actually using this out in the field?
Yeah, it's great. The very first install, and I got to, like, just again, as a manufacturer of mechanical products, people, customers don't usually go out of their way to call you to tell you everything's going great. Usually they're going to call you up and tell you something's gone wrong or whatever, and then we try to help them out and everything. But the very first install that we did was a beta install up at a recycling plant in northern New Jersey. The guy had been going out there, him and his team had been going out there to fix leaks and issues with the dry system there for many years. And we've had a close relationship with this contractor. So we said, hey, would you try our new product out? We think it's going to work great. I think we were just about finished up UL listing at that point. They tried it out for us. And like I said, about a year, maybe a little over a year later, the owner of that company called up my brother and just said, hey, I was just thinking, we haven't been out to that job site since we put that in. There's been no further problems with that. We buttoned up all the existing problems. We put your vapor pipe shield on there, and we haven't had to go back to address any leak issues or anything like that. So we did get that call that everything was going great. And I've heard that same story now over the past 3 years at trade shows and customer visits and presentations, time and again. I mean, I know firsthand, I've been told that same story at least 10 different times from 10 different installations. It's really cool.
So when you hear from those end users, if they've got questions as far as troubleshooting, tips and tricks on how to best optimize the tool, what are the ways that you guys collaborate with them to make sure that they're getting the best out of this?
Sure. Yeah, we've really made the installation of this very simple. It's something that gets piped in right between. It's a pass through, almost like a filter, but it's a pass through for the air, and it really just kind of gets bolted onto the wall and piped in. So it's real simple to set up. We offer, some expertise in the sizing aspect of it. So we try to help people figure that out, and maybe some application advice. But I would say the biggest thing that we advise on with the use of this is the maintenance of it. Just every year they have to go, and we've simplified this, and this is one of the innovations that the General Air brought to this, was putting these VPCI pouches into a special container that we designed so that it wouldn't prohibit airflow, but was easy to use and easy to take in and out of the vapor pipe shield unit. So, what we, kind of tell them is, this is a great way as a contractor to ensure your customers will always have a system that's corrosion, that minimizes any kind of corrosion. So by way of doing maintenance, that's kind of the big message that we push once somebody's gotten this unit installed.
So this is a fairly unique combination of features. Are there any additional benefits that we haven't touched on already that maybe someone wouldn't initially think of when you're combining these entities?
We designed it to address a lot of the issues with with the previous kind of technology that was used for this. So really what we did was we hit all those pain points with features of this unit. So as far as anything we haven't mentioned, I mean, again, it works so quickly. It works throughout the entire system. I guess another innovation that we brought to it that we haven't brought up here is the idea that we can also check to see that the vapor phase corrosion inhibitor is at the appropriate concentration level throughout
Hmm.
the system. And we did that with a color change paper that when wet, this paper will change color in the presence of a high enough saturation of VPCI that would be associated with corrosion mitigation. So people in their fire sprinkler systems can put that anywhere they want to ensure that that product is there and they are getting the corrosion mitigation that we expect.
How do you all see the product and really the brand evolving over the next few years? Are there any enhancements or new applications that you're exploring? Are there any market trends that you're trying to adapt to? Just speak to how you expect the next few years to look.
Yeah, I see a lot of growth for us in the next few years. The fire sprinkler industry, rightfully so, is very slow to adopt new things. Took a long time for them to even start using nitrogen generators in a regular capacity. So now switching to this, because we're talking about fire and life safety and property safety and things like that, it is very slow to change. But we still have with that said, we still have a long way to go as far as realizing the full market share in North America, which is where we've been concentrating on. Our next steps will be to take it to, Europe, the Middle East, and Asia, which will be something that'll be happening soon because there's a lot of applications for this, especially in the data center world. That's where we see a lot of pre-action systems and a lot of growth there in the fire sprinkler world, and it's very necessary to mitigate corrosion in those spaces. So I see a lot of upside over the next few years. I don't think we've even touched regular sales yet. We haven't plateaued. We still have long way to go before we do that. And then as far as other applications, it's something that we're keeping our eye out for. Things come up here and there, but I think if anybody's listening here to this and they're working with an application with a piping network that let's say is being mothballed or something that's being maybe going to sit for a long time without any water in it. Maybe it was wet, corrosion is an issue. This is a way to kind of contain that corrosion or maintain that piping network, before or until it's going to be used again. So we're looking for applications. We've discovered some in the oil and gas industry that we'll be taking advantage of in the future. And I'm always, we're always looking for other opportunities there.
Yeah, for anybody listening that might want to get in touch with you or learn more info, what are the best ways that they can do that if they want to learn more or get in contact with you to perhaps get involved? I'm sure you've got a website, social media. Just plug whatever you'd like to plug here.
No, our generalairproducts.com is our website, and we have a lot of information there about our vapor pipe shield product and all the products that we manufacture. And then our LinkedIn. So if you look up General Air Products Incorporated on LinkedIn, we have a very robust presence on LinkedIn. We do a lot of training and a lot of live events and things like that. So there's definitely places to pop by and see us or to contact us through our LinkedIn profile page. We're very active on there.
Good stuff. Folks, that is Ray Fremont Jr. As he mentioned, you can learn more about General Air Products at generalairproducts.com, and they're active on LinkedIn as well. On behalf of AMP, I'm Ben Dubose, and if you want more resources from us at AMP or our publications within the association, just visit amp.org, coatingsformag.com, or materialsperformance.com. As always, thanks for listening, and we'll be back soon with another new episode.
Thanks a lot.
This September 8th through the 10th, all roads lead to Odessa, Texas for the AMPP Central Conference, where the future of corrosion and coatings comes to life. From AI-driven pipeline integrity and advanced cathodic protection monitoring to cutting-edge AC interference strategies, this is where innovation meets infrastructure. Dive into groundbreaking technical sessions tailored to the challenges of the central U.S. and the Permian Basin. Register now at ampp.org/central-conference.